you go back in time, and Terry was pointing out earlier that Adam Smith himself was a sort of great proponent of the arts. So it's a degrading, I suppose, of culture in the eyes of economists. And I think the reason for this actually is to do with the modelling frameworks that economists have developed since the 19th century, which have a valid but only a limited perspective on understanding culture. The sorts of research questions which an academic or researcher or policymaker working in culture wants to answer are quite complex, and economics is only one discipline that really can contribute to the answer. And economists are quite keen on, they tend to view, they're quite reductionist, they tend to view, they're attracted to problems and questions where economics can uniquely solve those problems and fit into their models. And the truth of it is that culture is it's a multi-dimensional thing. Therefore, there are a number of valid disciplinary perspectives which have developed over the years, and economics is only one of them. And economists aren't used to dealing with that complexity, so they shy away.
Now, Lachlan, as an academic, and academics were, I guess, talked about in Hassan's speech as a group who resist a lot of economic measurement of the value of the arts. What's your response to this, to what Hassan was saying, and how it might apply here?
Well, I'm quite interested in this opportunity to bridge the divide, as it were. And I guess I'm quite optimistic about some of the opportunities for this kind of interdisciplinary conversation. But there are some legitimate reasons why interdisciplinary conversation is difficult or fraught, and it's largely because disciplines tend to be wedded to not just their own kind of technical conceptions, but their own almost cosmological conceptions about how the world works. Literally, worlds divide us in some ways. So I think some of the initial steps need to be kind of almost clearing the air about some of those objects that divide us, some of those tensions around the question of measurement and how it can shape value, not just measure value, but become an object that actually starts to drive people's behaviour. Some of the complexities of the field of culture. So I think one of the tensions in Hassan's speech is this interchangeable notion of publicly funded culture with culture. So I guess I'm thinking about culture as a very broad and complex kind of field, and it's often that we're actually talking really about increasingly marginal aspect of that field, state-funded culture. So I think that's also an important kind of point to add.
Now, Terry Cutler, you have had this board experience of many organisations. A lot of Hassan's experience relate to the UK. Do you think that Australia is in the same position, or do you think we're slightly ahead? I mean, David Throsby's been a real pioneer